Okay, so today we're going to talk about proving triangles congruent using two more postulates and theorems. The first one is the angle side angle postulate. So have we found that on our handout? It's on the back, correct? And it reads as follows. Two angles and the included side of one triangle are congruent. Congruent to two angles and the included side of a second triangle, then the two triangles are congruent. So what did we say included meant last week, the other day? What does included mean? Between them, right? Included means inside it or between it. So if you look at this picture right here, angle A and angle D are congruent because they have the same little arc marks, right? The sides between these two angles are congruent, C and F, because they have the same little arc marks. And it shows that these two segments are congruent, which they're between the two sides. So we got angle, side, angle. Okay? Included means between. All right. The next one is angle, angle, side. So find angle, angle, side should be the one that comes right after it. Is that correct? Midway through on the back, angle, angle, side. If two angles and a non-included, what do you think non-included means? Not between them, right? To the left or to the right. If two angles and a non-included side of one triangle are congruent to two angles and the corresponding non-included side of a second triangle, then the two triangles are congruent. So it's going to be in that order. Two angles congruent, angle congruent, and then the side not between them. Okay? So if the side's between them, the two angles, then it's angle, side, angle. If the side is outside of the two angles, then it's angle, angle, side. You got it? Because it kind of goes around. Angle, angle, side. All right. So, which relationship or what method would we use to prove that triangle RST is congruent to triangle VUT? Now, it doesn't say to prove it. Okay, so this is not a proof. It's just an example. What would you use to prove that these triangles are congruent? Now, there's some things marked on the picture, right? It says that angle S is congruent to which angle? Angle U. And it says that segment RS is congruent to which segment over here? UV. Now, that's only two things, and every one of our triangle congruents except for right triangles, and we don't have a right triangle, there's no right angle drawn, needs three things congruent, right? Either two angles and a side, or two sides and an angle, or all three sides, right? I got to have three things to show that they're congruent. So is there anything else in this picture that I can see that's congruent? Well, yes, I have a pair of angles and a pair of sides. I need one more pair of something that's congruent. Either one more pair of angles or one more pair of sides. Actually, I don't need one more pair of sides because then I would have ASS and that don't exist. Well, I could have side angle side. Sorry, I could have side angle side, but I don't. Angle what? How can I say those are congruent? I don't have that these are parallel lines, so I can't use alternate interior angles. Did you say an angle? Angles need three letters. That's already marked. How do I know that? What did you say, Noah? Angle? You talking about the angles? You talking about this angle is congruent to this angle? Why can I say these are congruent? Vertical angles. Yes. Don't forget vertical angles, y'all. We learned those in chapter 1, but they are so important. Those two angles are congruent because they're vertical angles. Always look for vertical angles. They're angles across from each other. So now I need to put two tick marks because the other angle already had one tick mark, right? I'm going to do two. 1, 2, 1, 2. So now, which one of those congruence postulates or theorem, side, 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 angle, or angle, angle, side, would I say these are congruent by? What do I have? Two what and one what? Two angles and one side. Okay? So that means it either has to be angle, side, angle, or angle, angle, side. Right? Now the difference is the side that's congruent between the two angles or outside the two angles?
Inside.
Is it between the two? Here's my two angles that are congruent. Let's look at these two. Is the side marked between them or outside? Outside. So which one is it? Angle, angle, side. If it's between them, it's angle, side, angle. If it's outside them, it's angle, angle, side. Y'all see that? You see that? Everybody good? Now you're going to do a worksheet as part of your assignment today, and that's basically all you're going to do. It's going to have things marked. Excuse me. It's going to have things marked, and you're going to tell me if it's side, 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 angle, side, angle, side, angle, side, angle, angle, side. Okay? So you're going to tell me which one it is, and you're going to have to write a statement of congruency, which we'll practice before we do the worksheet. Let's see some proofs. All right, open your book to page 255. We're actually going to do a few of them that are in the homework part of the book because your homework is not from the book today. So we're going to take some of those problems. Page 255. We're going to do two together, okay? So I have already tried to draw the picture. And we want to prove number 31. It says write a two-column proof. That means we need statements and reasons, right? So we're just doing these problems out of the book as our examples for our notes today, okay? In case y'all didn't know, it's really hard to come up with proofs on your own if you're a teacher. Yeah, this is in our notes. It's on my screen, it's in your notes. We're just getting the problems out of the book. So, the first statement is what on number 31? The givens, right? AK is congruent to segment CJ. Angle BKJ, or BJK, I'm sorry, is congruent to angle BKJ. That was one of them. And angle A is congruent to angle C. So those are all given. Now look at this, y'all. We're trying to prove, let me write down what we're trying to prove. We're trying to prove that triangle ABK is congruent to triangle CBJ. And sometimes it helps if you kind of like outline those triangles, because there's a bunch of triangles in this picture, right? How many triangles are in this picture? There's 4 of them. This one, this one, this one. Actually, there's more than that. 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and together they make 6. There's 6 triangles in this picture. Anyways, there's 6 triangles in this picture. There's 2 of them I'm trying to prove are congruent. So I'm going to take my highlighters. I'm trying to prove that this yellow triangle, ABK, this just helps me, is congruent to, I'm going to do this one blue, CBJ. Okay? So I'm trying to prove my yellow and my blue one are congruent. Okay? They marked my angles, didn't they? Angle A and C have 2 tick marks. They're congruent. BJK and angle BKG, those are K and G or K and J angles are marked congruent. They did not mark, however, that AK is congruent to CJ, is it? AK is my yellow line, right? Right? And BJK, CJ is my blue line, right? So I'm going to draw those down there somehow. AK is congruent to that one. So all that's given to me, isn't it? Guess what? I've got two angles and one side congruent, right? I can already say those triangles are congruent. The question is, by what reason? Which one of those reasons will I use for triangle congruence? Angles? The sides? Are the sides between them? And angles. So which one? Angle, side, angle. So now I can already say it. I can already say it. Triangle. I'm going to use it the way they say it. ABK is congruent to triangle CBJ because of what reason? Angle, side, angle. Y'all see how I said that? They told me that. I marked it. Angle, sides in between, angle, side, angle. And I know it's kind of confusing when those triangles overlap. That's why I highlighted them. It just helps me. Some people like to separate them. But to me, it just makes more sense to kind of color them. All right. Let's do the next one. I'm trying to prove that triangle XWV. Let me highlight those. XWV. Not red. I want yellow highlighting. Stop it. XWV. I was afraid my pen was messing up again. Is congruent to triangle ZWU, which is this one. So I'm trying to prove that my yellow one is congruent to my blue one. And this is a blue line. It just mixed with the yellow and it made it green. Same way here. If I just fill that in, it maybe it'll work. So that's what I'm trying to prove, is that my yellow one is congruent to my blue one. And I don't have all these marked correctly. Hang on. What's my givens? All right, I marked too many. Okay, that W's not supposed to be marked yet, y'all. That's extra. That's coming up. Statements and reasons. My given are my first statements. So I'm going to say segment VW is congruent to segment UW. And angle X is congruent to angle Z. Are these all marked? My sides aren't. VW, which is right here, this segment, which is the yellow line, right? It's congruent to UW. Oh, that's blue, and that's yellow, right? That's blue and yellow, right? Let me go fix my highlighting. That's blue and yellow, and that one's just yellow. No, that one's supposed to be blue too, isn't it? Sorry. Okay, and those are given. So it's hard when they overlap. Hard when they overlap. All right. Do they both have angle W? Yeah, so I can say angle W is congruent to what? Itself. So angle W is congruent to angle W because of what property? Let's do it. So now I've got, let's do the yellow one. On the yellow one, I've got an angle. What is that? That's supposed to be the blue line. Angle, angle, side. So look at the yellow. Right? I know it's confusing when they overlap. And this one I've got, look at blue. Because this is this little side. It's not the whole thing. You see that? It's not that whole side. So it's not the whole side. So it's going to be angle, angle, side. Does that make sense? Because if I look at the blue, from here to here is what's congruent, not this part. Does that make sense? So So this is for the yellow line. This one's for the blue line. So it's going to be angle, angle, side. So triangle XWV is congruent to triangle ZWU because of angle, angle, side. Because like I said, this goes with the blue line, or the blue triangle. This one goes with yellow. So if I look at yellow, I've got angle, angle, side. If I look at blue, I have angle, angle, side. Does that make sense? All right, and that's all of our examples for the lesson today. We're going to do some worksheets now. Have a good day.